Coming up, I've got an important message and I've got a really great show coming up next week. Hi, it's John and welcome to Cycling on a Shoestring, and kind of an impromptu little video for you today, something I was thinking about as I was coming home on my bike from work this morning. I want to tell you 3 quick stories, and everything today kind of ties in together, okay? About 15 years ago, I was out mountain biking in Gatineau Park, and for those of you who don't know where that is, that's in Quebec, right across the Ottawa River from Canada's capital city of Ottawa, big park there. I was riding in a place called Camp Fortune, and they've got a mountain bike course there, and I'd ridden it a couple of times, and on the 3rd time through, I was pretty tired, and a place that I'd cleaned nicely between some rocks and a big log, I caught my wheel in and I fell off the bike sideways, went down over a hill, and I came down and I hit my head quite hard on a rock. And luckily that day I was wearing a helmet. Go back about 5 or 6 years ago, I was riding into work on my old road bike one night, and I was on a pathway I'd been on 100 times before. Had to go around some people, and as I went through, my front wheel dropped into a crack in the pavement. I went down hard on my shoulder and I broke my collarbone. Now, I don't recall breaking my collarbone, but I can tell you something that's an absolute fact. As I was rolling on top of my head, I thought to myself, thank goodness I'm wearing this helmet, which takes me to just a few weeks ago. I'm out riding with my friend Andre, just south of where I am right now here in Calgary. We're riding along a bike path, and some guy on an electric bicycle was on a pathway that ran up beside us like this, behind some trees. He got right in front of us as he came on the pathway and decided to do a U-turn and did this, and I plowed right into the back of him, and I went face first into the pathway. And I hit this helmet right here, right there, and I marked up my face, and you can see the pictures here, and I bruised my shoulder and scratched up my shoulder pretty bad. Thank goodness I was wearing a helmet. Now, I did just come home from work, and I was riding behind an older guy, gray hair, on a road bike. He had no helmet on. And over the last week, I've really noticed a lot of people not wearing helmets. I do not want to get preachy with you. Please don't think I'm trying to do that. Little kids with no helmets, kids with their helmets on their handlebars. Moms and dads out with their kids not wearing helmets, the kids are. Women with beautiful hairdos not wearing helmets. Now, I don't know whether it's vanity or it's, you're older and you survived when you were younger not wearing a helmet and you don't think you need one. But I can tell you, helmets work, okay? I can tell you, and I'm pretty sure of this, that my helmet may have saved me severe head injuries on 2 of those 3 occasions, okay? So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, which brings me to this helmet here. The word is, or at least what we always hear is, if you crash a helmet, replace your helmet. It may not look damaged, but it might be cracked internally and it might not be sound anymore. There's a few scratches on the front of this. So I've been looking recently for a helmet, and there's a lot of helmets out there, and I haven't found one yet. But I thought I'd do a show that I think will really interest you. And on Monday morning, I've got an interview with Barry Miller from the VirginiaTech Helmet Lab. Now, VirginiaTech is probably the gold standard when it comes to rating helmets for safety. So I'm going to be talking to Dr. Miller on Monday morning and likely have the interview up on Tuesday. So I'm excited about this. Now, got lots of questions for him, obviously. How do they torture helmets like this to test them? How do they rate them? I want to talk to them about MIPS technology and the latest technologies out there when it comes to safety for helmets. Now, if you've got a question for Dr. Miller, leave it in the comments below. I'll try to get to it. I don't have a lot of time, but I'd be interested in hearing what you think. Okay, so I'm looking for a helmet right now, and we'll talk to the doctor on Monday morning. Should have that up on Tuesday. Some other shows I've got coming up. I'm going out riding in the Canmore area tomorrow with my friend Andre. Andre just bought some eye candy. Now, this is not a cycling on the shoestring budget type thing. He just bought a top-of-the-line Canyon mountain bike. So I'm going to get a little bit of a look at that, and I'll show that on a show coming up. Plus the ride we're going on in the Canmore area out in the mountains, which will be fantastic. I've also got a review coming up on a product that's on the screen right now that you may have noticed. So I've got that coming up, and that is really, really cool as well. So some neat stuff coming up in the next week. I'd like to thank you very much for watching first off. I always appreciate it very much. Now go out and ride and be safe.